Yo, what's up, people? This is Shelvon with Gaming and Culture Television. Today, I am going to check out Star Wars Theory. He had a little rant about Star Wars and where it's at now. The thing that is the most interesting about any of this stuff is that true diehard fans are usually the last ones to give up on their their fanatics. And sometimes it's a little interesting to see how far they not really go when they finally realize that the thing that they love has been irreparably damaged by people who don't seem to really care. So let's see how he feels about this. I ain't gonna lie, Star Wars kind of died for me after The Last Jedi. And as far as I'm concerned, the only canon that I care about is the ones in the books. It's the first 6 movies in the extended universe. Anything after that, they can have. So, all right, let's check it out.
You wonder why Star Wars is in such a state where no one is interested anymore. Nobody gives a crap.
Yeah, that's basically what I meant.
If you would join us.
The Kenobi Show, is a show that we had been waiting for, arguably. No, not, you know what? Screw arguably. It was the most important show that Star Wars could ever have released after George sold it to Disney. We got Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. We got Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
All right. He may think that. I personally think that show never should have happened because it's not really important what happened in between like those stories. And all you could do if you try to tell it was just mess it up. And especially if you don't really have that much talent. And all he did was mess it up. So it was nothing but a negative that could possibly happen by doing it. But that is my opinion.
As well as Luke Skywalker and Leia. Literally the main characters of Star Wars. The most important part, time, everything. And what kind of a budget does it get? It gets not even less than Andor, which I think had like 130 million or 110 million or maybe even more than that. What was the budget for Andor? Hold on here before I even get ahead of myself. You guys are going to see such a more real side of me as we push into 2024 because I'm fed up. I'm really tired. I'm really fed up. People that don't like me already don't like me. People that love me already love me. And I'm here for you guys, and I'm not here for anyone else. At the end of the day, I'm here for George Lucas. I'm here for Star Wars. I'm here for myself and what Star Wars used to be. Let's get a few things out of the way. Not everything that Disney has created is total garbage. Maybe, 80, 90%.
Yeah, the 90, I agree with you on that.
But there is that 10% that is actually really amazing. Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, Tales of the Jedi, The Clone Wars Season 7, Rebels, Ahsoka up until episodes.
All right, if any Ahsoka sucked. And Ahsoka sucked.
7 and 8. But what I'm trying to say is, not everything that has been created under Disney's umbrella was garbage. Now, mind you, those things were created by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Mostly Jon Favreau, the parts that everyone liked, I think, is a pretty good indication of Jon Favreau getting disillusioned by Lucasfilm. And you can kind of tell that in the direction that most of these shows went into, but carry on.
But I digress. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the most important Star Wars project since Disney purchased Lucasfilm from George Lucas in 2012. And it gets the lowest budget of any Star Wars show to date. She-Hulk gets a better budget than Obi-Wan? Freaking She-Hulk. I mean,
is female. Obi-Wan is a white male. And we all know how Kathleen Kennedy seems to view the white male parts of Star Wars. So
what the hell, man? Like, who is making these decisions up there? I'm sorry to make this kind of video, dude, but honestly, like, who is making those decisions up there? You wonder why Star Wars is in such a state where no one is interested anymore. Nobody gives a crap. It's because of shit like this. And you know what? The budget wasn't even the biggest problem of the show. You
Story.
have fan films. You have fan fictions that have like no budget, that have like the budget of an internet connection and a computer, that honestly garner more attention and love than the garbage writing and directing that flew into the Kenobi show.
Yeah, because those were written by people who actually liked Star Wars and not by folks who are using it as a vehicle to push their career, to push a message, to not even sell stuff. Because if they wanted to sell things, then they would actually have made a genuine effort to make a fan pleasing show. But carry on.
You have the most important characters in Star Wars. Not only that, you're bringing back Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Forget Jimmy Smits, everybody else. You're bringing back the GOATs, okay? The original, well, the prequel trilogy. That was the original, the OGs, man, the OGs from the prequels, okay?
Original for you.
And you not only, give a crap script, you get people that don't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to writing the stories and the characters that
Or
George
anything else.
built and created. You regress them. You focus on Reva. You make chasing Leia literally like the most impossible thing to find a 9-year-old or 10-year-old. And above all, you have open-handed combat from a civilian against stormtroopers. I mean, look, stormtroopers suck, but they don't get disoriented like that from, a slap on the head, okay? But then you also manage to give literally the worst script of all time, the lowest budget of all time. I don't get it. I'm trying to understand this. I'm really trying to. Who's making these decisions, dude?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Let's give this script
and the
crappiest script of all time.
Team.
Let's regress the characters, and then let's give them the lowest budget of the most important story in Star Wars, the most important characters in Star Wars. But let's just literally give them the bare minimum, but focus all of our attention in Andor, which, yes, Andor is a great show for everyone who attended film school and wants to eat their cheese with a French hat so they can twiddle their mustache at the same time and talk about the Renaissance era and how great things were back then while they sip on their wine from 1922. Okay, don't get me wrong. I liked Andor. I liked it. It was a good show. It was fine. It was cozy.
I did not watch 1 second of that television show, and from what I've heard, that the way it looked was good. Story-wise, it was boring, and it's about a character who died. So I'm not sure of the purpose of the show, so that's why I didn't watch it.
It was also extremely boring and made me fall asleep a million times while I was watching it. But it was still a good show. Whatever, I enjoyed it. Just sleepy time, okay? Like you want to put to sleep, you watch Andor. You want Star Wars? You watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. You watch Revenge of the Sith. You don't watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. You watch Revenge of the Sith. You're watching. So I'm going Italian now. That 6% Italian is coming out, and I'm starting to get a little bit angry here. You want to watch Star Wars? You watch the first 6 movies, and you watch the Clone Wars. That's Star Wars. You want to create a Star Wars project? You create the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, but not the way it was written by Joby Harold and directed by Deborah Chow. You get someone competent who knows the characters and respects the characters. You get Jon Favreau and Dave. Why didn't Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni do the Kenobi show? Why didn't they do all shows? I mean, okay, Andor was fine. It was, keep the guy there, but even he said, he's like, half the time I forgot I was doing a Star Wars show.
I think at that point, Jon Favreau was basically out in terms of like kind of checked out, and I think that had a lot to do with Kathleen Kennedy. If you listen to all the rumors and whatever, the behind the scenes type stuff. So that's probably why.
This is just, I am so tired. I'm so tired of trying to be so nice to people. Man, I don't care if you don't like what I have to say. Don't watch my videos. I'm not here for that.
To your thing,
I'm
bro.
here for me. I'm here for Star Wars, George Lucas, and to protect the legacy because, quite frankly, dude, I'm the only one that keeps doing it. And they make clips of me on TikTok or whatever, they can keep doing it, but I'm literally the only one who keeps driving the point home that Star Wars is what George created. It's not this shit that's been created now and given a crap budget so that She-Hulk can shine through as she twerks with Meg the Stallion. I just don't get it, man. How can this $4 billion company be handled by these buffoons who don't even understand the characters, but also assign these nitwits to write for these legendary characters.
I apologize.
Wait. All right.
But it's time for a YouTube rant. It's a rant that irritates me as a viewer, but more importantly,
and at the same time give them don't even understand the characters, but also assign these nitwits to write for these legendary characters, and at the same time give them pennies. But then they want to give She-Hulk the most money because it's what, CGI? You guys remember the ending of She-Hulk? What the hell did they do to Hulk's son? You guys remember Andor? Why does Andor have a $250 million budget? I mean, I feel like we should have paid 20-30 million at least to Hayden, 20-30 million to Ewan, 60 million right there. Oh shit, you have the whole budget for the show. But they give 250 million to Andor, 250 million to, or 225 million to She-Hulk. You're looking at 500 million, you're looking at $500 million for two shows, which honestly aren't even the most important things in either of their franchises. What the hell are these people thinking? And you're wondering why South Park is making these kinds of comments towards Kathleen Kennedy. It's because people there clearly aren't using their brains. And it seems like I'm taking crazy pills. I'm starting to feel like I'm Mugatu. It's like, does nobody see this? And we're all just standing around like, hey, it's okay. We got Andor. Andor's the best Star Wars we've ever. It's
Plenty of people saw the writing on the wall and kind of, drifted off. Hence like you said, people just don't care. So.
It's Blade Runner with a Star Wars theme. It's not bad. I love Blade Runner. Go to my Theory Talks channel. I'm always playing Blade Runner music. But that doesn't mean it's a good show for Star Wars. The Last Jedi was the most asinine representation of a continuation of Luke Skywalker's story that I've ever seen in my life. Yet it was a good movie.
No, it wasn't. That movie did it for me. Like, walking out of the theater, I was like, I'm done. Disney Star Wars is dead to me. I'm going to go back to read the novels and just pretend that none of this stuff existed. So, but everyone is entitled to their opinion. So,
it wasn't a good Star Wars movie. What the heck? I don't. You know the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Mm-hmm.
Like Disney has one, like How to Lose a Franchise in 10 years. And now they're pouring all this money and focusing on the Rey movie. Like, are you guys not learning your lesson? Like, seriously?
No.
Are you not learning your lesson?
No.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it how they can be so out of touch. Make better Star Wars, dude. Make Mando season 1 and 2. Make that continuously. I don't know what the hell happened with the Book of Boba Fett. But obviously someone's meddling with something out there. Okay.
All right. As far as that is concerned, from what I heard was, and this is just a lot of rumors, after Mando season 2, they wanted to take the story into a whole direction. They had a whole bunch of shows lined up, and they were going to do this whole thing with Gina Carano and all this other stuff. I think the first season of Mando, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy really cared. Like, it was a show, so, it's content, whatever. And then when it became a huge hit, I think that that caused her and the rest of those idiots over at LucasArts to pay more attention to what was going on over there, and they started meddling. And then Gina Carano tweeted what she tweeted, and you can't speak against what the common narrative is, so therefore she got fired. And all of that threw a monkey wrench in everything that Jon Favreau wanted to do. Like, all of his TV shows, they had the Bill Burr character, and all this stuff just got destroyed by this impulsive decision made at Lucasfilms. From what the guy who played Boba Fett said, is that he had concerns about the character, and the fact that the character was not acting in a way that he felt the character should, and that he talked too much. And when he would bring all this up with Jon Favreau, he said that Jon Favreau was checked out. He did not care. So I think a lot of them decisions were made by Dave Filoni. Hence how goofy it was. It was basically a cartoon, that live action cartoon, and given how the rest of the Star Wars shows started to appear, yeah, that's Dave Filoni all the way. So
okay, because it did the consistent wise, it just doesn't make sense. Mando season 1 and 2 were literally like perfection. Mando season 3 was the most disjointed thing I've ever seen. Boba Fett was just shit, to be honest. Like, the first 2 episodes were amazing. Then after that, it was like, what happened? Well,
and then you get a mid-season arc of The Mandalorian 2.5 in the middle of this show. So yeah, it was shit.
Booby Fett.
What?
You know, well, like, what's going on here? I don't know. I feel like it's satire at this point. You know, it's like we just constantly keep trying to see what else they're gonna mess up at this point, and it's like I don't want to do that. I just want to enjoy Star Wars. You guys remember how hyped Star Wars fans were when Mando 1 came out? Oh my gosh. And it was like Star Wars was back. It was like after The Last Jedi, and we thought, you know, like, oh my God, okay, finally we got something to grasp onto now. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just, and you know, they don't even want to give Kenobi a second season. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, dude. Like, where are you gonna go from there? I mean, the whole show just focused
First season shouldn't happen, dude.
Talk about it. I'm so frustrated. I'm so Disney. Like, I don't know, you guys. You do what you want to do, man. At this point, you know, you can't. It's in the hands of the fans, and the fans are going to continue to make fan films. You guys are going to continue to get roasted by South Park and even bigger media that will come in the future, and you deserve it. You really do, because you just you aren't learning from anything, and you're continuously ruling with your ego, and you guys just have no idea what Star Wars is about at the end of the day. There are many people at Lucasfilm who have a real good, clear understanding. And yes, I do think I have a very good understanding of what Star Wars is. First 6 films, I think I know it better than pretty much anybody. Clone Wars, I mean, you want to talk about mythology, you want to talk about Star Wars, you want to talk about character arcs, you want to talk about themes, you want to talk about the characters themselves, what they were going through, why they did what they did. You want to talk about force abilities, lightsaber techniques and fighting styles and backstories and this and that. I mean,
I like the 2D cartoon better.
The movies,
I think that was much
books,
better,
inside and out. I'm not the only one. There are millions of others at Lucasfilm that know so much about Star Wars. Sam Witwer and Dave Filoni. I mean, these are 2 guys that, like, you can't.
I don't understand the Dave Filoni stands. Like, dude, Ahsoka was terrible. And he seems to be in love with his own characters to the point where he is trying to make them the most important things in Star Wars that he could possibly do. But they keep, I don't know, they see something that I don't. So, all right, carry on.
Be luckier finding talent like this and having them be loyal to the brand and having them work for the brand. I mean, honestly, at this point, you would be a fool to not be hiring the 2 of them to work together to create everything going forwards. Prior to this, green light 1313, green light the Force Unleashed. No one cares about your junk canon. Just create good stories that we love, create the characters that we love, embellish the characters that we love, continue their stories, create Star Wars, make it great, make it what it was, give it a proper, fair chance for the characters that matter, give them the money they deserve. So weird, so bizarre to me. They'll never learn, and we'll continue to be pushed towards the prequels and originals. That's all it is. That's all that'll happen.
I don't know. Okay. The most interesting thing about this is he had from the I don't, like I said, I'm not subscribed to him, but I have seen some of his stuff on occasion, and he seems to have rose-colored glasses, I guess, when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, like, you know, from his faith in Dave Filoni, which I have none, but he liked the Clone Wars, so he's kind of one of those Clone War guys. I actually like the 2D one better. I think it was like it showed the Jedi to be more powerful, but that is my opinion. Just like I said, everyone is entitled to their opinion. The sad part is watching a super fan lose faith in a thing that they have wrapped most of their life around, you know, and to know that people who don't really care about the thing that you are a huge fan of have destroyed it. And when they're done, they're just going to move on to something else because they're just trying to use popular things to push whatever it is they're trying to push. They don't really care if they destroy it. So, you know. All right. I will put a link to this in the description. So if you have any comments on how you feel about this, just leave them down below. And thanks for if you made it through the end of this, thank you. Please do all the usual YouTube stuff, you know, the like, subscribe, and all that fun bit. All right. Later.